watched all of Mushoku Tensei.
Ooh.
That's it?
Watched all.
Oh, season.
Noob. I've read the entire like light novel, and the web novel. I finished the web novel. It's amazing. It's nothing to be proud of, buddy. Yeah, that's nothing to brag about. You gotta pump those rookie numbers up, by dude. I finished the entire like web novel, the light novel. The light novel is still going on. I don't know. It's volume 15, 16 now. I don't know. But
Watching anime.
I said I was going to all of it. All of it. 1 and 2.
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Also, he doesn't watch anime. I don't know actually.
After I said I would, and everyone was like, "Connor's not going to watch it." And then there was a bunch of comments that were like, "I hope Connor doesn't watch it because I know he's going to hate it."
Why?
hate
It's
it?
an amazing.
No,
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow.
I liked it.
Okay.
I thought it was good.
Okay.
I thought it was good. Honestly, yeah, it was really good. I can see why people.
I never understood why people actually buy figurines. Can someone actually explain this? Like, why do you want to like why not just 3D print it? It's like, why buy expensive like figurines? I never understood the appeal of figurines, to be honest.
think I would hate it.
I have a friend who collects them. I never really understood that.
The first episode, I was like, "All right, weird champ."
Yeah.
All right. I mean, listen. The way it starts is fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
Because he gets isekai'd as you do, because it's the first isekai, right? That's all I
Yeah.
knew about it. It was the only thing I knew about the show is that it was the first
And
isekai.
I feel like whenever Connor hears isekai, like
I
fucking
hate it.
flashbacks of like me talking like in
Yeah,
talking in his
basically.
ears.
And so I went into this with an open mind. I didn't read any reviews. I didn't watch any videos. I don't know anything about Mushoku
Same.
Tensei, right?
Yeah.
All I know is that everyone hypes it up.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Be me, right? First episode, right? I'm watching this thing.
Yeah.
And he gets isekai'd as a toddler. First thing he does is starts like admiring like the woman's tits.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. This
But in his defense, in the author's defense, he made it like really creepy. He made that segment really creepy, using tones and using like different facial, like creepy facial, like facial faces and whatnot. Like he made it like really, really obvious that this is not a good thing. Unlike unlike many other shows where like it's like the it's done for the jokes and whatnot. In this show, it's actually very, very seriously shown that this actually is really super creepy and you should be creeped out by this. Like if you actually read through the entire light novel, I mean the light novel is obviously not done yet, but if you get to a certain point of the light novel, you begin to understand him so slowly morphing into a responsible adult, and that's half of the fun of like reading that, because it's like if you haven't read that, dude, read it absolutely. The finale is like absolutely a tearjerker. And it's one of the best finales I've ever read. Hands down, it's easily the best ending for an isekai that I've ever read. Probably Overlord is the only one that can really, I think, match that, I guess. But we'll see what happens with that.
This is the show that everyone's hyping up. This is it. This is it.
He didn't just admire the tits. He like makes a shrine out of like one of their panties, right?
Yeah, so the whole first like 2 episodes was just him being like an incel.
I completely forgot.
Basically.
That was the
But
one
he is an incel. That's the point. In his previous life, he was an incel. So obviously, he would be an incel even there.
episode I've just like erased from my
Because
mind.
like he's like an incel in the life
Yeah,
before,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was like, are we seriously just gonna watch a guy
But the fact that you even thought that he was an incel, right? Like in other animes, you would not have that feeling. You would not have the feeling that you would always get the feeling that this guy is a cool guy, or he's like a little bit perverted, but otherwise a good guy, In this, it creeps you out, watching a toddler fantasize about his mom's boobs. So obviously it's creepy as hell.
another show where an incel just gets rewarded with like a massive cock in the new universe, bestowed confidence, magical powers, the most OP guy, and never has to overcome the fact that he has really unhealthy views towards women and sex and everything.
Yeah.
But this one was good because I felt like he actually at least somewhat learned that, hey,
he gets wrecked multiple times. I mean, in the light novel especially, like Rudius gets wrecked multiple times. It's explicitly stated that like he's not the best. I mean, he could be the best martial artist or like the strongest entity or whatever, but it's always, spoiler alert, if he were to do that, if he wanted to be like it's not really a spoiler, but if you wanted to be if he could actually be the most powerful force in the entire world, but he chooses not to be, and he chooses to live a simple life. That's essentially the kind of jobless reincarnation theme that's going for the whole carefree slice of life anime style.
Maybe the way I viewed women was kind of fucked up in the past.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, it can be done. Anime can do it.
Not only was this the first isekai, but it was the first self-realized incel.
On top
And you have to understand, like even in the previous life, like he's actually a total douche. I mean, he didn't even attend his parents' funeral. So you have to understand, he's not a good guy in the previous life. So that's what makes Rodius' entire arc so good, because you can actually see him becoming a good person who's also successful and who's also trying to overcome the problems of his family and whatnot, which is like incredible, to be honest.
top of that, it was a good show. And I was like, this is great. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Because not only was the world building amazing,
Yeah.
I was really like into the world. I
Yeah.
loved all the characters, even
Yep, the
parents.
world building is excellent. Yeah.
They easily could have just been like, oh, it's just fucking parents.
Yeah,
Fuck 'em.
I was really
They
surprised.
built everything up.
Yeah, I was really surprised when the parents were just characters. Because normally you see like anime parents are just like half the time not even fucking there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember watching
And
the
when they are there, you can't see their eyes.
Yeah.
Right?
I was remember like watching, because I'm like so used to like isekai speed running this shit, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like he gets transported, starts like getting the girl, starts beating up.
Boom, that's a problem, that's so good. Geguk is like so right there. Like I've read so many isekai like novels where they're like, I've written tons of like novels where like like the guys are like, dude, when is like the good shit gonna happen? I'm like, you have to wait, you have to like let it mature. You have to like that's the juicy part, of like going through the everyday struggles of life, in this new world. That's how you build world build, and that's how you kingdom build. That's how you like introduce new laws and new characters and whatnot. So it's very, very, very hard for like, because 90% of isekai novels are like novels, or even shows, like unless they're like some kind of comedy or something, right? Most of them are like just speed running, like speed running to the point where he becomes the god of the new world, or like a king, or marries the princess, or like he's like has the most overpowered power ever. He just like beats everyone up. It doesn't let the stew simmer. That's my biggest problem with isekai as a whole genre. But I love it. I love the genre. So
beating up the dudes. I'm like 5 episodes into Mushoku Tensei. I'm like, what the fuck? He's still with the parents? What the fuck is going on? What's going on?
But I love that,
Then I realized, wait a minute. I'm actually getting invested in the family dynamic and the family story and stuff like that.
It really is like the slow cooker of isekai, isn't it? Whereas everything else is just like
Yeah,
microwave.
it's a slow knife that penetrates.
Can I spoil one minor plot point? It's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal, but just spoiler
Spoiler
alert.
warning.
Spoiler warning. The moment I knew the show was built different, really, was you're just sitting there, you're like watching episode 6 or 7, it just starts, and it's like, the first thing that happens is it's like normal family life is like, the husband has cheated on the wife with the maid, and she's pregnant. I'm like, what the fuck is this show doing? Like, what the fuck is going on? And there was like a whole point where
Exactly.
like our 10-year-old protagonist was diffusing this Jerry Springer.
Yes.
And I'm like, what is happening in this show?
Yes, that's such an incredible. That's like he introduces conflict so well there. It's so good.
What is is this an isekai or Jerry Springer? Like, and it's like, you are not the parent. And then I said, yeah, just a backflip. Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? Like, I was like, is this good? This is good, right? I think this is fun. This is great.
Yeah.
And then they actually get into like world building later on, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about it is that it does take that time to like build up shit with like all this like Jerry Springer shit, just to say like, hey, dad's kind of an asshole as well. He can do fucking bad things,
Which is then later substantiated in the later chapters. If you actually read, even at least the manga, I'm pretty sure it
He
gets
the
to a
perfect
point.
human being, and then like it helps. It just like it all plays a part into like his journey, I guess. And I think the biggest down point was you finish the first season. You're like, this story hasn't even begun.
Yeah, I thought I missed an episode or something when it ended. I was looking because I thought, I'm on episode 11. It must be 12 because it ended so abruptly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, where's the It's episode 12. And then I was sad on the new season. I was sad because I mean that I had one less episode.
You're ahead of me. I've only seen first season.
Second season's amazing.
Yeah.
Second season's really.
It is pretty good. The animation is amazing.
Second season is where you get so much of the payoff of what was like the world building that's built.
I mean, that's not even, I don't even think, I think you won't even really have the payoff till the 4th or 5th season. That's when it really starts paying off. That's when, I think until then, Jobless Reincarnation is going to still be like relatively underground. But when it reaches to the 5th or 6th season, it's going to hit, you know, it's going to go really mainstream. Because it's an amazing story, you know.
Built up from the first season.
Yeah, I would be quite annoyed if I watched it and season 2 wasn't out. So I think
Yeah, it pissed me off, but it also, you know, it also means, like I actually forgot about it for like 2 months, and then I got back to it and I began watching it and reading the manga and finished the light novel and then finished the web novel. My God, it is straight up, it is one of the best reads I've ever, like it's such a good, simple story and it's unbeatable in my opinion. It's such an unbeatable combination.
I feel blue ball.
Yeah.
But it was a great show. Like again, like I can't give credit enough, but the fact that they actually like
Did something different.
did something different and it worked. It was like the first isekai, which just makes me like really concerned.
Yeah, it's like why did they not take the good parts of this show?
So like
No, but that's the thing. That because it's such a that's the thing. When something becomes popular, they take the formula. They take what makes a really popular. Okay, this guy is like taken into another brought to another world. That's a interesting premise, which has like infinite possibilities, especially for depressed people in Japan who are like looking for a way out of the system. So that gives like multiple stories with multiple power fantasies. It's far more easier to create a bad story than actually take your time to painstakingly build up your characters and whatnot. Damn. I mean, yeah, I'm a huge fan. I hope season 3 comes like sooner. Eris is absolutely a great character, It's not very tsundere, but like, then. But like, she's even better like in the end. I mean, she's really good, One thing I didn't like about it is the harem part, but then again, it's even there, like, Rudius is like pretty regretful of the way it ended up being. So that's just so good, That's just so good. So yeah, I mean, it's go watch Jobless Reincarnation because it's amazing. I mean, I love it, dude. I mean, check it out if you haven't checked it out. I love the whole premise of the show. I love the whole premise of the entire thing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to. Like the video if you want to. Or not, Yeah, thanks for watching.